spoiler warning, everyone. This will spoil both the Harry Potter books and The Cursed Child. Random intro song. Good morning, viewers. I'm Joshua with Deloohcs, and today we are going to be reviewing Jack Lord's script of The Cursed Child by J.K. Rowling. Long story short, Harry's son Albus is trying to fix a mistake from his father's past. This is what I find interesting about the book. Besides this fact, Albus is the only Potter being bullied just because he's a Slytherin, which I highly disagree on. Go Slytherin! Now, being someone who is odd or stands out from the rest of the family, I can understand how that might be tough. Albus is failing classes, he's a Slytherin instead of a Gryffindor like the rest of his family, and he gets teased about it. I personally could handle the teasing, but this pushes Albus to the point of isolation from his peers and family, which is still a burden with a mean brother and his father literally defeating a Dark Lord. His only true friend was Scorpius, who is a son of Malfoy, which makes his condition worse since Malfoy's being bullied for once. Now enter Mr. Diggory. It's at this point in the story where things start to get interesting because it sets up the main plot of the story and calls back to J.K. Rowling's previous work, The Goblet of Fire, which is another book in the Harry Potter series. Now, Diggory blames Harry for the death of his son in a previous book. Albus overhears this and sees this as an opportunity to prove his worth. With the help of Scorpius, they steal an illegal time turner and go back in time to fix this. And the whole story itself is revolving about changing fate. This is what I believe to be the story's greatest strength. The implementations of changing one's fate by going back in time, and the whole story itself is revolving about changing fate. Albus wants to not be bullied and recognized for the person he is. They're trying to change the fate of Cedric Diggory. Scorpius Malfoy just wants to be a normal person and not bullied for being a descendant of Voldemort, which is another long story within itself. But, of course, like Back to the Future, if you mess with the past, the consequences can have a ripple effect, creating a whole new freaking timeline! The first time this happens, not much changes. Albus is now Gryffindor, and Ron and Hermione never get married, causing their child to change into a different person because Ron married someone else. These are the only obvious changes, so they try to fix things again before they find out anything worse.
This in turn causes a worse timeline where Voldemort is alive and Harry is dead.
It's the variations in the Harry Potter timelines in which I myself find interesting. Albus and Scorpius remembers everything that's happened, but everyone else doesn't. Harry doesn't ever remember his son being in Slytherin, and Ron never remembers being married to Hermione, and nobody ever remembers Harry dying at the hands of Voldemort a second time. It's these changes in the timelines which really gives characters both old and new more depth within the Wizarding World, and is why I like this book. It's like combining the Wizarding World books and movies with Back to the Future or The Butterfly Effect into one play. Any fan of time travel or a Harry Potter fan would enjoy this, but one thing's for sure. It should be enjoyed with a cup of butterbeer. Refreshing. My only disappointment about reading this book is A, I can't actually see the play. It's all the way in New York and who knows where I live. Don't say that in the comment section, please. And B, they could have explored the timelines a bit more, see what else has changed because of what Scorpius and Albus did to the past. For example, the Dark Lord timeline. Maybe Scorpius could have had at one point a shot at trying this new life as the ruler of the entire school, the Scorpion King, instead of just him going straight to Snape, Ron, and Hermione and fixing the timeline. They could have explored more in depth on what else has changed in those timelines, or maybe even try killing Voldemort himself in this timeline before fixing the timeline again. And see, I really want to see what happens with Rose and Scorpius. I really think they're gonna end up together. No one can prove me wrong. That's all for today, and remember, chocolate frogs are always the best kind of chocolate. Expecto Patronum!